you ready? Okay. Time. Hello. When I stood in the stage of National Lithuania Barista Championship last year, I thought that most fascinating aspect in specialty coffee world is the ability to experience new and authentic. But as I gained more practice while preparing for the world stage, I refined my approach. Today, I believe that most powerful could be the combination of old and new. What I mean is, I noticed in the world where we all seek new undiscovered techniques, we should sometimes look back to the past, where we can find an inspiration from old but forgotten classics and reveal them perfectly while putting in new perspectives for nowadays practices. For today's menu of free beverages, I brought you a geisha from Costa Rica. This traditional black honey processed microlot is from Itadaki plot of Hacienda Scopey farm in San Jose district of Costa Rica. I'm actually really excited about this coffee's producers, Japanese Daito Giken Group, who decided to incorporate all Japanese values into their hacienda's management, as this reflects the idea of mine, applying old classics for achieving great results. Attention to details is one of the biggest Japanese values, and it can be seen back to producers' extra attentive searches of their farm location. It's interesting. Firstly, we all explored all the Panama regions, including most exclusive ones, like Bouquet or Volcan. But as we traveled to Costa Rica's Hacienda Scopey farm, we noticed its terroir, striking resemblance with those Panama regions. And while considering which location to choose, prioritization of teamwork and community feeling of Costa Rican people were reminiscent of Japanese culture to them. That's why my chosen geisha grows at Costa Rica's Hacienda's farm in Itadaki plot, which is actually elevated at the highest location of Hacienda farm, to be exact, 2,150 meters above sea level. Due to this altitude, plot receives strong sunlight, but low average daily temperature of only 15 degrees of Celsius. The weather here changes really often, from fog, even on sunny days, followed by rain, and then followed by clear skies again. Due to this low time, extreme microclimate, cherries can enjoy long 4 months ripening time, creating high-density beans, resulting bright, juicy citric acidity. To emphasize it, me and my team decided to choose longer development time and higher intake temperature of 200 degrees of Celsius. Judges, to serve your first beverages, which will be espressos, I'm using brewing recipes of 20 grams in and 40 grams out. And as I tried to find the point of diminishing returns where my coffee becomes the sweetest and produces the brightest quality of acidity, I found out that espresso, extracted at around 30 seconds, demonstrates the best complexity of both. For now, please notice 2 different glasses of water in front of you. As I try to follow Daito Giken dictated Japanese precision, each of the beverages today will be paired with different types of water to highlight their individual taste profiles. Please, just before the evaluation of espressos, take a few sips of water from the left glasses now. I found out that this low minerality water of only 22 ppm can help me to bring out and highlight extra citric acidity. Please, enjoy those espressos just after I stir them for you. But now you can start perform visual evaluation and then take flavor notes. Okay. This one for you. For you. This one for you. And for you. Now, you can start taking flavor notes. In the espresso, you will find pomegranate, ripe lemon, and white grape. In the espresso, you will find medium sweetness, medium acidity, and low bitterness. The tactile will be medium heavy, starting juicy and developing into round and smooth. And finally, the finish will be long-lasting, which reminds me of fudge. Please, you may now start enjoying those espressos. Judges, if you're ready, we can move on. Our next drinks will be milk beverages. In them, you will find fudge, caramel, and a long-lasting aftertaste, which reminds me of banoffee pie. Please, enjoy those beverages as soon as I hand them to you. But before, please take a few sips of water from the right glasses now. This high minerality water of over 600 ppm, I found out, can increase the perception of sweetness, prolongs the aftertaste, and makes heavier body. For now, please come back to the goal of incorporating Japanese values into hacienda's management. Daito Gikan spend a lot of time training their farm workers, enhance diligence, and emphasize an aim of accuracy to select only fully ripened cherries. This led to precise three-phase sorting process, which starts in wet mill with siphon machine and finishes in dry mill with screen and gravity sortings. All of this is reflected in today's cup. Espresso is characterized by intense sweetness. The cereal milk beverages, I'm using brewing recipes of 20 grams in and 50 grams out. Using 20 grams of espresso, 25 grams of espresso, to 70 grams of milk. Please enjoy. To achieve an ideal balance of sweetness and velvety texture, when I mix it with my sweet gesha espresso, I decided to use a milk which is slightly modified by cryo desiccation technique. And as I explore my milk options for it, I found out that cryo-desiccated milks, coconut and dairy milk with ratio of 6:1, will bring me an enhanced, highly natural sweetness of geisha. Please, enjoy. So, I cryo-desiccated both milks separately. After freezing them, I subjected them to a vacuum, which allowed the frozen water to vaporize without passing through the liquid phase. Please enjoy. So that's how I managed to double the concentration of fats, sugars, and proteins in my dairy milk by adding 10% of blended cryo-desiccated milks, which allowed to unlock the Demerara-like sweetness and extra soft texture to my beverages. Please enjoy. Finally, this is the last part of my performance, where old and new goes hand to hand, while traditional black honey processed geisha meets modern mixology techniques and finds an expression in today's signature beverages. After being depulped, pre-drying, and sun-drying on raised African beds for 2 days, coffee beans ended up drying at temperature-controlled greenhouse for another 22 days at 20 degrees of Celsius. This, faithful to its classic basic method, brings out extra clean profile of my geisha, which I would like to keep while preparing your signature beverages. That's why I will prepare you chilled, refreshing drinks. I'm using 80 grams of espresso, the same espresso recipe as for espresso. The first ingredient will be pure passion fruit juice, 10 grams of it, will increase the acidity and transforms that old lemon note into new blood orange. Then to balance that acidity and highlight natural tropical side of my geisha, I'm using 35 grams of clarified coconut milk syrup, which is made of Demerara sugar and milk boiled together, adding lemon juice and strained everything coffee filter. This gave me juicy texture and created new sensation of strawberries. I also wanted new, deeper character to my coffee. So Daito Giken inspired me to look back to Japanese culture and explore fermentations. That's why today I brought you 6 grams of lacto-fermented plums, which today will give depth, and together combined with those passion fruit juice, transfers that citric acidity into new malic one. I made them by mixing plums and 2% of salt, and I let them to ferment for 5 days by having lactic fermentation. I'll be right back. Okay, finally, to enhance overall sensory experience, I would like to add an edible fragrance of roses and lavenders, which I made by steam distillation technique, which led me to liquefy the essence of flowers. Today, to the drink, it will give new supple note of honey. Please, enjoy those beverages just after taking a few sips of water from the left glasses again. This low minerality water, I found out, will highlight malic acidity of those beverages and increase the vibrancy. Please, before enjoying those beverages, swirl the glass for 5 times to bring the synergy to the fragrance and the liquid. Judges, it was a pleasure and honor being here with you today. I hope that today's performance will influence all of us, sometimes look back to the past while we're seeking for improvement today. Thank you, and you can now start enjoying those beverages. Time.
And thank you very much, Simona from Lithuania.